Hello and welcome to the First Issue Club podcast. We're your weekly comic book reading club that, man, you love us. I'm going to start over again.
Stop now. No,
What?
we're keeping this.
All right, if you say so. I just had a hard time getting through this one. We're on, our 11th show. And
Folks, I can't even explain to you what's happening right now.
Right.
This is no joke. This is our 300th episode, and we've done the intro more times to this than I can possibly imagine in the history of First Issue Club. I am beside myself. Why are you so nervous? We do this all the time.
it's not nerves.
You're just trying to find your rhythm.
Yeah, exactly right. Now I don't have it. Rest of the show is going to be in the dirt pile.
The problem
Dirt pile? That's not even a thing.
The dirt pile is.
Is it?
It is now.
I guess it's a pile of dirt, right?
Yeah, I'll make a shirt.
But it's not a saying, I don't think.
The problem is once you fumble it once, you're going to fumble it 20 times.
I think
You
I think you got out of your system. You beat your yips. Because it's just like Sue Storm, we love a good read.
Oh, man, I didn't get to say it. Fuck. Oh, okay, well, welcome back. 300th episode. Congratulations, guys.
Woo! Still can't afford a soundboard with an audience cheer.
Mm-hmm. We're going to see if Venom shows up.
Yep.
The big 300.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got a Todd McFarlane cover for this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the incentive variants are getting pretty out of control. The Peach Mocha one is gorgeous.
Yeah, the one in 5,000.
Yeah, she made us look good.
Depending on the hour of day your podcast app downloads the episode, you'll be getting a different piece of podcast art.
Yeah.
That we commissioned for thousands of dollars.
We
each.
spent about $20,000 on different commissions for the.
Unloaded my 401k.
Uh-huh. And they're all NFTs.
Yeah, I had to get a 401k and then cash it out.
God, if there's one thing I could do over in life, it would have been just unload as much money as I could on NFTs and Bitcoin earlier.
Yeah, and then just tank the market. just really do a GameStop on them.
Pull a GameStop. It's a good
Do you know that
phrase.
that's getting a movie?
Yeah. I heard
I just
about
saw Paul Dano is like starring in it as like the Dorco
lead nerd.
lead nerd who tricked everyone into buying GameStop
It
stock.
would be cool, guys.
What if the Riddler bought Bitcoin?
That's essentially what it is. Yeah. Riddle me this, crypto bro.
I'm just imagining this lead character in real life when this thing is like happening and people are mobilizing. I put in quotes because it's online. Like the guy who organized the thing could possibly have not spoken to another human being for like days on end.
Right.
Because all of this happened online.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see a movie where you it's like an
Just some
hour
guy
of Paul
clicking a
Dano
mouse.
typing on a very clicky keyboard.
Clearing his throat.
And then going like, yes,
Yeah.
every once in a while.
We make fun of that guy, but
Mm-hmm.
he's a millionaire, and we're sitting in a very warm studio.
Is he? Did he keep his money from that?
Yeah.
I think he
got out before
he
it
got
crashed.
out. Yeah. Which is
That's kind of. Do people hate him for that?
I don't know or care.
Can you hate anyone who wins in the stock market? Only to a certain amount, right?
I think
I feel like the whole deal was to ride it out, right?
I believe you're right. I think the call to arms was just like hold out as long as you can.
Yeah,
we'll show the market.
And then the guy
who's really driving,
and
things.
the guy who led the thing walked away with a bunch of money.
Well,
yeah.
so part of it was they were investing using Robinhood, if you remember,
the app that no longer exists because they fucked
because they
it.
crashed the market. But if you remember, like halfway through this whole thing, when it started going really off the rails,
Robinhood shut it down.
yeah, they started limiting what you could or how many stocks in GameStop you could buy or per account or whatever. So
when it started making the nightly news, it was dead in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
because
which is really messed up to be like, hey, the wrong people are making money.
Right.
Yeah, dude,
You know what I mean?
Well, that was the whole point of the thing.
Yeah,
where
it's like the other people are playing the game the way it's supposed to be played, and we're fine with that. But when when you find out how to play the game a different way, we're like, oh, we got to shut it down.
Well, yeah, it's not even that. It's just like it was highlighting how corrupt the stock market really kind of is with insider trading and just like kind of
and how it's all made up money anyway.
Right, yeah.
And this is the kind of shit we're talking about in every episode of First Issue Club, so go back and listen to the full catalog of episodes.
This is our final recap of the Robin Hood GameStop Highway to Hell.
This is just the shit we get into on our comic book show.
Well, fine. I'll bring up some comic book news. Well, it's not comic book news. I misspoke. It's book news.
Okay.
Marvel is teaming up with Penguin Random House, whatever, and they're releasing what if novels, original books.
Okay, so this confused me because they are also coming out with dark what if comic books.
Correct.
Okay.
These are separate.
Yes, obviously.
But they are novels. They are for adults.
No pictures.
No pictures. No dystopian futures where teens kiss. That's for children.
What book is that?
Like every YA novel.
50 Shades of Grey.
Every Hunger Games.
Oh, Hunger Games. Sorry. Yeah.
But
Maze Runner.
Yeah, any of them.
Maze Runner.
They've announced.
I was just like, that's not Vampire Diaries. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, hell yeah. Now, vampires kissing. I'm into that. They've announced 3 so far. The first one is going to be Loki, and it's what if Loki was worthy?
Oh, okay.
And that's they're all like a team up books. So this is what if Loki was worthy, a Loki and Valkyrie story.
Okay.
That comes out in March.
Does it say who's writing?
Madeline Rue.
Okay.
Don't know who that is. The second one is out in July, and it's what if Wanda Maximoff and Peter Parker were siblings.
Oh.
So that's
interesting.
Scarlet Witch and Spider-Man.
Imagine writing a whole book about that.
I have. If they steal my fucking OP, I'm going to be livid.
Do not steal. Spider Witch. Greg's OP. And
Scarlet Web.
The third one is the one that really gets me there. What if Mark Spector was a host to Venom?
Oh, so Moon Venom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Venom Knight.
Ooh, already exists.
All right, here's my thing. That sounds specifically like a fun visual bit.
I agree.
And it's not going to be...
It's visual of the mind.
You're telling me that's all like a prose novel.
Yeah. Have you read any of the Marvel's prose stuff?
No.
I think Marvel was
not interested.
Marvel was really upset that they couldn't corner the intellectual market. So they're like, we got to boot these pictures out of here. Because every book club I go to, they're just like, oh my God, I want to learn about Spider-Man, but all these fucking pictures are in the way.
It's true. What do we say every episode, guys? We say
fuck these pictures.
The worst part of this comic is the pictures.
Is all these pictures get in the way of the words.
All the art is the worst part.
All these superhero books are ruining the novel industry.
Yeah, really crippling
it's
it.
Oversaturated.
Everyone thought it was manga. Nope.
There's too many books. Yeah, I don't know. I will not be reading any of these. I'm not interested. Are you guys?
So I read Marguerite Stoll's Black Widow books that she did, and I think those were geared toward like a teen audience, but they were cool spy stories.
Yes.
And I think those are the only Marvel prose stuff that I've read.
She writes comics.
Yes.
That's the other thing. It's like, yeah, maybe if Al Ewing was writing a Hulk novel, I'd be like, oh, I got to check that out just to see what it is.
Like if James Tynion did a novel, I'd be like, oh, okay. Or like Grant Morrison. I could see Grant Morrison doing a novel. Like, totally fine.
Grant Morrison has written novels, hasn't he?
He wrote a nonfiction. I know. Sorry, they wrote a nonfiction.
He wrote like a textbook.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, Super Gods.
How to open the universe's door.
I would read that book. Yeah, I'll pick up the Moon Knight one for sure, just because it sounds so interesting.
Yeah, you're a Moon Knight shill, so
you're correct.
And I don't mean that in a bad way.
No,
just like I'm a madman shill. If there's anything like madman, I'm probably gonna pick it up. Okay, cool, interesting. Marvel novels.
Yeah. If anybody picks up the Loki one, that one comes out in March.
Not just Marvel novels, Marvel what if novels.
Sure.
What a weird thing.
Yeah, like what? Why make them what if? Like if they're not going to be canon anyway.
Right.
But that's an easy way to keep them.
Kind of fun and light and no
and it's
continuity.
Yeah, you can have people dive in without like expecting the Loki that they know. You know, what if Loki was worthy? Okay, it's going to be a story about Loki and Valkyrie teaming up to fight, I don't know, something, right?
Yeah, it's a way to do origin stories in a new way.
Yeah.
What if Thor's arms were snakes?
Wouldn't it be cool if Thor was the god of lies? Thor shows up and he's the baddie.
More like the god of thighs.
Oh,
Vava Vavu.
crush me, daddy.
Wear them god of thighs as earmuffs, you know what I mean?
I can hear the ocean.
Oh, you're just hungry. Rumbly belly.
Yeah, very much. Any other news that we wanted to talk about Transformers because last episode 299 was the episode where Greg went crazy and talked to the wall for about 35 minutes.
You did a great job, buddy.
Thank
Bravo.
you. I appreciate it. I don't want to do it again.
We won't make you.
I don't get people who do podcasts or TV shows like that.
Yeah.
It's very alarming and like just kind of it throws you off because
You got to write a script.
well, yeah, like I can't work off of anyone. Like this show works well because we can chat with one another and play off of that. Me staring at the wall at my own reflection in the computer wasn't the same.
Yeah.
You're just in a vacuum with your conservative agenda, with
Seriously.
no one challenging you.
These liberal mutant snowflakes are at it again, folks.
Just there is something.
The woke Krakoan agenda.
I feel like there is something. Whenever I hear someone who's just like going on a solo, speaking to the world,
Yeah.
there's a different way you talk than when you're talking to other people in a room. And it just strikes my ear as conservative immediately, no
Right.
matter what they're talking about. It's just my brain has been so trained to recognize that sort of patter
Yep.
as like conservative radio.
It's like, yeah, it's NPR with more sibilance. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, yeah, it's Ira Glass with edge.
Yeah.
It's like it's dad after 2 beers, like
Yeah.
right before bed.
Yeah.
Just like, well, back in my day,
Listen.
we knew how to change our own oil, and Cheerios costed 10 cents. It's like, okay, Dad, put down your margarita.
Time to go inside.
Time for bed.
Margarita.
Margarita.
I love that this conservative dad character is drinking a margarita.
Conservative dads, fact check me on this, love margaritas.
Is that right?
Well, he can't be drinking Bud Light. That's
Nope.
for goddamn
Yeah.
sure.
Kid Rock told him he can't drink Bud Light. And there's nothing that says I'm an independent person than listening to someone else say what you can and can't do.
Yeah. I just happen to agree with everything they say, Greg,
Absolutely.
because I thought for myself and did my own research.
Now, when I go to church every Sunday and I get on my knees and I say, ball with the balls, bang to bang, diggy diggy, Kid Rock, I open my heart, so come fix me, quickie quickie.
I did it all for the nookie.
I did it all.
That's Limp Bizkit.
That's Limp Bizkit. And Limp Bizkit is far from conservative.
all
folks.
the moral intersection of all those worlds
I know.
in your church.
What a ride that guy's been on.
So Transformers.
Okay, so we did talk about Transformers and Void Rivals in 299, but you also read it, so I want to bring it back
Yeah.
up again about was the reveal spoiled for you?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Bummer. Fuck.
Well, comic book resources or IGN or whoever posted that second print variant like the day the book came out,
Yeah.
which was really irritating.
Mm-hmm.
I put that book on my list just because it was a new Robert Kirkman
Same.
book.
I just, like that, folks. If you ever see a new Robert Kirkman book that doesn't have any description,
Yeah.
put it on your fucking pull list
Yeah.
because it's gonna be fire.
Yeah, it's going to be something.
I honestly would have been less likely to buy it if I knew it was a G.I. Joe or whatever else thing.
Well,
But
that's
see, I didn't pick it up because it was a Transformers
Yeah.
and G.I. Joe thing. It was just like new space adventure from Robert Kirkman. I was like, fuck it, I'm in.
and that's I think that was a good trick.
Mhm.
I don't know if it was a trick. Whatever. It was a good marketing ploy because it got me interested in the story, and then it was like, oh hey, this book takes place in a universe that is shared with G.I. Joe and Transformers.
And the crazy thing is, the Void Rivals characters aren't going to be interacting with Transformers or G.I. Joe at all.
Right.
They're just like space hopping now.
Yeah.
And they may intersect with planets and species that have like been mentioned in Transformers and G.I. Joes, but like,
Well,
it's its own fucking separate space opera.
Can Cobra even
I
get
mean-
into outer space?
Yes!
I'm just thinking they're a very like earthbound story, right? Why do
Space snakes.
Why do they even intersect with like a space opera thing?
well, that was what the back material said. Is the story's going to go on, and you're going to figure out that like,
okay.
and they dropped hints that like this story takes place like millions of years, even in the future of Transformers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
I read a Robert Kirkman interview, and he was just like, imagine this as like an ultimate style, like from Marvel soft reboot.
cool.
Like, we're going to be retelling some older stories with some new twists. You're going to see some familiar characters, but like, think of it as like the ultimate universe for this new Skybound series, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, an easy way to get new readers and old readers into Transformers.
yeah,
And G.I.
And-
Joe and Cobra.
yeah, and G.I. Joe.
And so I guess the bit is, or the story is, Transformers have been on Earth. They're like still underground, like fossils or something. Like they haven't been awoken yet.
Yeah.
And G.I. Joe and Cobra.
Fossils. Just like
Oh yes, the Truckosaurus fossils.
just like trash under the ground and being like those are robot fossils. Those-
Autobots. Wash off.
Satan put those there. Satan put that Autobot there to deceive me. The world is only 10,000 years old.
Is it just me, or is that robot disguised?
Folks, don't believe the Autobot agenda.
Yeah. You heard it here, folks. The Energon conspiracy comes from the highest ranks of Unicron all the way down to the smallest GoBot. They're here to steal our precious American oil. That's their blood, don't you know?
Okay. Interjon.
Energon.
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 Yeah.
Robert Kirkman's
E-
calling an Energon.
ENERGON.
G-O-N. Energon.
Can you use it in a sentence?
What the hell does that mean? Where does that come from? Do we know?
Well, Energon is like the lifeblood of the Transformers.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd never heard that term before.
Mhm.
Energon is the thing that they are fighting for. Think of it as like reverse kryptonite for Superman.
Yeah. It's what gives them like their soul.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But it comes from their planet,
Mhm.
Energon.
I don't know.
Whatever. It comes from their home planet
Okay.
that was destroyed because they were warring over the Energon. And now that's like it blew up and they came to Earth to find more Energon.
Were they semi trucks on their alien planet?
Yes.
Yeah.
They looked like
Yeah, they look like
American
Dodge
80s
Chargers.
cars.
They got like wave signals from like Earth. Like,
They were just like, well, I'll be damned, we fit right in
yeah,
here.
God damn, that fucking Chevelle is sweet. I'm going to transform into that.
Yeah, I always thought it would have made more sense if they were like they were robots who could turn into other things, and
Yeah.
then
on
came
Energon, they're just robots. They're
then-
just guys.
and robots here, just guys. And then they come to Earth,
Yeah.
and then see automobiles, other things, and they're like, oh.
It's like, goddamn, we got to fuck that.
I'll download that into my conscious and then turn into it.
Look at the
Holy shit,
bumper.
there's so many guys here.
Yeah. Why are those small creatures getting inside of them?
If they were like,
Disgusting.
like I think they make more sense as mechanical versions of Mystique or
Yes.
something. Like if they could turn into anything mechanical.
And I think some of them can. I think some Transformers, actually, I think some of the Decepticons have like a cloaking ability
okay.
where they can just go like, there is a fire hydrant, and they're just like, they can mimic that or whatever. again, I'm talking out of my human ass because I have no idea what any of the Transformers can do.
Yeah, some of them like Shockwave. You know, they can turn in like
A boombox.
He has a boombox, and he's got little tape cassettes
Yeah.
that turn into other smaller
He
Transformers.
just plays Salt and Pepper the whole day.
Push it.
But push it real good. This is Shockwave's jam.
I learned how to play that little push it riff on keyboard when I was young, and I would just play it over and over and
and
over.
I've been
and
drowning
over
in
again.
it since.
My grandma's piano, ping, 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 ping.
Hey, Mike, what's that funky tune you got going on there? Nothing, Grandma.
Out of tune, yeah, piano, playing push it.
But the interesting thing about this series is Daniel Warren Johnson is writing and drawing the Transformers book,
Yeah.
which for me is incredible.
Yeah.
I've loved DWJ for a long time, ever since like Murder Falcon and Extremity. Did he?
Yeah.
And so to see him just like come into this whole fucking universe thing where he can take over is very titillating.
And isn't Philip Kennedy Johnson doing, what is it, Duke and Cobra?
No, so Joshua Williamson is doing
yeah.
Duke and Cobra Commander.
That's right.
And then I want to say, we talked about it in the Discord, the original writer of G.I. Joe American Hero is taking it. Something, I'm going to get just screamed at. I can't think of it right now, but the original writer for G.I. Joe is going to be
Doing
writing
something.
It. Yes, for Skybound.
Cool.
God, 300th episode, and I forgot how to talk.
That's cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm kind of stoked about this. I think it was a good move to disguise this book.
Pun intended.
Yeah, to robots in disguise this book. And then kind of let the cat out of the bag at the end of the book.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. I will do a reverse of this, an Uno reverse card, when we talk about one of the books that I read this week, where they didn't do that, and I think they could have, and it would have been better.
Oh,
I don't know if that makes sense.
it does, but we'll get to it.
Yeah.
Should we just cannonball into that?
Let's.
Okay.
Splash.
So one of the books I read was Godzilla, Here Be Dragons.
Oh, okay. I really wanted to read this, but didn't get a chance to, so I'm excited that you're covering it.
Yeah. So the elevator pitch for the book is Godzilla, but in pirate times.
Done. You've struck oil.
Yeah.
I hate it.
What?
Unbelievable.
Godzilla is meant to be an allegory for our changing times and a commentary on pollution and radiation.
Uh-huh.
Now you sound like me.
Yeah. Well, actually,
Yeah,
I don't disagree with you.
Mm-hmm. This is violating the spirit of my thunder monster. What is Godzilla?
Thunder Lizard.
Thunder
No.
lizard.
Wait a minute. Yeah, wasn't Godzilla created because of all the nuclear testing and stuff?
Yeah.
Or awoken? Was he awoken?
No, I think he was just a plain old little lizard boy.
he was like a little gecko someone got from the grocery
Yeah.
store, and he got zapped by nuke radiation.
Probably depends on what continuity you're talking about, would be my guess.
Mm.
But in any case, so this book,
Talking about the actual continuity, the original.
the real continuity,
The one the
about it.
founders wanted.
the founding fathers' interpretation of Godzilla.
George Washington knows what I'm talking
Hey,
about.
if you could time travel him here now, he would have strong opinions on this.
Ben Franklin's like, what the fuck with pirates? Jesus.
This comic's ruining my childhood. I didn't chop down a cherry tree for this.
Made my wooden teeth are out of here.
So the book takes place in pirate times.
Yes.
And
Okay.
The framing device is this pirate's in custody with the British. It takes place in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Mhm.
He's in custody, and he's like,
Jack Sparrow's there.
he's kind of Jack Sparrow,
Oh, fuck.
but he's like, gonna be hanged. And he's like, I'm gonna tell you this story, and you're gonna let me go. And the guys are like, what are you talking about? Pip pip cheerio. And
My ex-wife hit me.
And he tells this story about
He's so damaged, we can't hurt him anymore. Then he's already hurt.
I can fix him.
That's what Godzilla said.
Yeah. So he tells this story about like stolen pirate gold gets buried on Monster Island.
Oh, nice.
And then Sir Francis Drake goes in search of that gold.
Mm-hmm.
And what they should have done with this is called it like Here Be Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
And left Godzilla off.
And then the Godzilla's the kicker at the end.
Yeah.
Haha.
That's what they should have done.
Yeah.
So is like King Kong gonna end up in this thing?
I think they're going with the original interpretation of Monster Island, where it's like Rodan and Mothra.
Also,
all those
he wouldn't have
guys.
been fucking born yet. King Kong, give me a break.
Yeah, he's just a big gorilla.
He's just a giant fucking monkey.
I think
He lives a normal 80-year lifespan. Don't try to gussy it up. There's only one impervious and immortal thunder lizard of the sea.
Hey, if I can dish it, I have to take it.
He's the original Cthulhu.
So that they again, like I said, they pulled a flip flop of Void Rivals, where they let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah.
on
Like
the-
if
in
Void
the title.
Rivals was just called Void Rivals, also there's Transformers in here.
Yeah, if it was called Transformers
Here be-
G.I. Joe Rivals.
Here be Transformers,
Yeah.
Void Rivals.
Yeah. Not that this book like was disserviced by announcing the fact that it was Godzilla.
Yeah.
Like the story was still interesting. The reveal
You wish
of,
it would have played a little harder to get.
yeah, the
You know what I
reveal
mean?
of Godzilla
Yeah.
at the end was still cool because they're like, "Oh yeah, here's the island. We're going to get the gold." And then Godzilla like rises from the sea. Very
Yeah.
cool. But it would have been way more effective if they would have left Godzilla out of the
Now, is
out
this
of
a
the
one shot or is it like a mini?
No, it's a mini
Okay.
for sure.
I think more comics should take a chance on doing stuff like that because you could say that, well, not many people are going to pre-order it as they would have if you put Godzilla on the title, if you don't put Godzilla on the title. But
Also,
If
great cover to this book.
if you don't put
This is the B cover
Nice.
by Kirkman. Or Kirkham, sorry, Tyler Kirkham.
if you don't put Godzilla on the cover and you make the title something weird, you probably sell more of this in second and third printings.
Totally.
For sure.
Like, the overall selling is just like, oh, I missed this thing. It was a low print run. It builds excitement about the book.
Yeah.
And people take it a little more seriously because it
Yes.
doesn't look like an IP grab thing.
yeah.
Yeah. So, word to all the comic publishers out there: tease us a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
make it not so easy.
You could probably only, I bet we see more of this after Void Rivals.
Yes.
And I bet we get,
Secret Smurf book.
I bet we get tired of it after like
A year.
after it happens for a year where we're just like, okay, now I got to pre-order every weird book because it might turn into
Some
like,
fucking broke.
yeah, like an Alf secret reveal.
Don't fucking kid.
So Frank Terry is writing it,
Very cool.
which is very cool.
Mhm.
And I think, Mike, to your point, it's an IDW book, so I don't think they have as many dice to roll as maybe
No.
Image does.
There's a lot of empty cubicles right now
Yeah.
at IDW.
Yeah, so I wish they would have. I wish they would have, taken that chance.
Yeah.
and kind of tease us a little bit, because having a cool pirate story with, maybe you tease that there's a dragon, like a real life sea monster at the end, and then it ends up being Godzilla. Like, that's enough for me to read that book.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know. It was a good book. I would say definitely go pick it up if you're a fan of our favorite lizard boy.
It was a good book.
It's a very good book.
And yeah, as Greg said, the Tyler Kirkham cover is definitely the one to get.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a cool wraparound too that they didn't have at my store, or I probably would have gotten that one.
How much was that?
I don't know. It wasn't at my store, or I would have gotten it.
Kaiju.
I
That's the,
also read-
Yahoo jingle, but Kaiju instead of Yahoo.
But do we need that as on our soundboard?
Yeah.
Kaiju. I also read, as I'm sure everyone in this room did, Ultimate Invasion.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Anybody?
Let's get into it. beyond its first, let's talk about its $9 price point.
Wah, wah.
I bought this digitally, was very upset to spend $9 and just let it disappear into the air for digital content.
I mean, it's a big book.
Mm-hmm.
There's no ads.
Double-sized, yep.
I kind of didn't. I like process material in the back of books.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Brian Hitch did the art, so like if you're gonna get somebody to have some back material, that's a good person to have. But like
in the digital copy, the back material was just like, here are some pictures of sketches.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all that was in the printed too?
Yep.
Okay. Sometimes the digital doesn't have like the same back matter, but I was kind of expecting like a treatise from Jonathan Hickman in the back or something. Because in the previews for this book, they were like a lot of extra stuff. You're going to have the Hickman graphs. You're going to have
He's saving that shit for gods.
extra stuff, blah, blah, blah. And there wasn't much in the back. I mean, there was a epilogue that was kind of like the fun kicker for this story.
Yeah.
Where let's spoil it. You find it.
Well, we can't spoil it right now because we got to build up to why
Okay,
it's
sure.
awesome.
okay.
So
I never said it was awesome.
the epilogue?
Oh,
That's fine.
Okay. It's about to get real spicy on this 300th episode, possibly the last. It's not Secret Invasion, Ultimate Invasion.
Secret of the Use.
The Ultimate Invasion, Here Be Makers. It is essentially the Ultimate Universe that appeared in 2011.
God,
way
Been a
earlier.
it's
than
long-
got to be earlier.
It's
Yeah,
been a long time ago.
early 2000s.
It is.
Yeah, maybe it was.
It is
more.
where Miles Morales came from. It is where the Maker, which is like the alternate version of Reed Richards, came from. That it is gone. It's been destroyed in the Ultimates, and so the only people from that universe living here in the 616 is the Maker, who is in this like high security jail, and Miles Morales, who is out dunking on fools and villains.
Right. And that all came out of Secret Wars from 2015.
Correct.
Yeah, how they got into 616.
Correct.
What was their number designation for the Ultimate Universe? Does anyone know?
It was 1610, right?
Oh, so it was like the inverse. It was like 161 instead of 616.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In any case, we are now led into this story where a team of hired guns are sent to retrieve the Maker and free him.
Yeah.
The Maker reveals that it's just a ruse, and he like combines their bodies
Dude,
to make a decoy of himself in the cell.
that was so cool.
That was pretty fucking wild.
Yeah, that was gross.
But it's so like gets to the heart of who the Maker
Yeah,
is.
it was
Like,
gross in a good way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There
Very fuck the Hulk book that
Immortal Hulk.
Immortal Hulk. Like
Yeah.
it's very grotesque body horror style imagery.
Yeah.
I did appreciate that they had some inner dialogue from the Maker, or maybe he was monologuing as good villains do. And he was like, I'm going to be a better person this time around, but I'm going to have to be my old self to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like him rationalizing like another few lives on the pile is no big deal.
Yeah.
And like as a as a stooge, when you hear that, you're like, nah, I'm fucking boned. Oh no.
I think it'll be interesting to see like what sort of person he ends up being with the ultimate power he ends up wielding,
Yes.
which we'll get to. But that's something I'm looking forward to as this arc progresses.
Yeah. Okay. And
It's
so
like what kind of person he becomes, or if he's different.
So the Maker eventually frees himself. He just walks on out. And he goes on this kind of scavenger hunt for the ultimate power sources on Earth. You get a Crowan Gate. You get like an Atlantean shield. All kinds of like cool, fun gadgets and stuff that we said would be fun backstories
Yeah, because
in these books.
he basically steals like one item from each member of the Illuminati
Mm-hmm.
who reunite in this book.
Yes, and he does so basically on purpose
Yeah.
to let them know that, one, I'm free, and two, I'm fucking out of here.
Yeah.
Like, you have a little time to catch me, but you're not going to.
Yeah.
He says at the end he did it all because he just wanted a moment with Reed
Yes,
so he could ask him a single question.
and it was so righteous because the Maker was just, to Reed, was just like, if you had the chance, would you, like, make sure I didn't exist? And Reed was like, yeah, absolutely.
Which
And then,
was shocking to me
why so?
because it's Reed Richards. Like, he's supposed to be
The good
everything the
version.
Maker isn't.
Yeah,
Mhm.
right. And I think that's going to be an
His
interesting piece.
undoing.
Well, an interesting piece of the commentary that, like, we were discussing earlier with the Maker being like, I'm going to be a better person this time around.
Mm-hmm.
And is he modeling himself after the decisions that Reed would have made?
Yeah.
So
How-
I think that specific moment is going to have some comeuppance in this. That's going to be
Oh, for sure.
That's going to be interesting.
But Reed Richards, as like a man of science, has seen time and time again the Maker just do these terrible things,
Yeah.
ruin millions of lives. And so in his mind, he has the data, he has all the information he needs. Erasing his existence would probably benefit more than
Right.
not.
Right. But it's too late at the end of this
Oh,
book.
well, yeah, because he has those Atlantean shields,
Yeah.
the Maker does, covering him, and he goes into whatever portal
That he has created.
he's created. And then we find out in the epilogue, which is going to tear this group apart, that one can only assume that the Maker is going back to every superhero's origin story and stopping it.
Yeah, because he goes into the Ultimate Universe.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was like that page. It said whatever 1610.
1611, I think.
Yeah, whatever it was. And he shows up at Spider-Man's creation
Mm-hmm.
and stops the spider from biting him,
Yes.
which is fucking wild.
Which is rad.
And you didn't like it, Mike.
Here
you
we
can
go.
say no.
Here we go.
I don't know. It felt like I saw a headline that one of those places like IGN or Screen Rant wrote, and it was like Marvel's Ultimate Invasion kills off Spider-Man with a twist. And
That's clickbait if I've ever heard it.
yeah, I know. It seemed very low stakes to me, I guess. I don't know. I think it was supposed to be an oh shit moment.
It
And
definitely gave me an oh shit moment.
yeah.
Because I don't think he killed the spider. Did he kill the spider?
No, he saved the spider.
He saved it. So
Okay.
that means he's doing something else
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, he's trying to
Spider-Man team.
Well, part of me was thinking he was trying to recreate the world he lost. Right?
I interpreted it as
And in the Ultimate Universe, Peter Parker, but a better version of it, right? In the Ultimate Universe, Peter Parker ultimately dies, and Miles Morales becomes
Yes.
Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, is he just gonna take the spider, go right to Miles Morales in that timeline, and be like, "Bloop! Now you're Spider-Man. My universe is starting to come together the way I wanted it to."
I interpreted it as he basically used that device that he had to create this universe, go to it, and since he knows everything that's going to happen, he's now shaping it in his image. So instead of Peter Parker becoming Spider-Man, maybe Eddie Brock becomes Spider-Man, or
Yeah, my thing is,
Norman Osborn.
part of me is like, is this for better or worse though? Because let's say he gets rid of all the superheroes' powers.
Yeah,
Is he doing everything with is he doing the same thing with villains too?
maybe.
Is he just making like peaceful, normal, like our Earth, but peaceful,
or
a world without superpowers? And he's like,
but he's still got powers.
yeah, he's
so-
still got powers,
So
but
he could be the ultimate.
he's like God.
yeah, the ultimate god of this universe.
Mhm.
But that's why you have to buy issue 2. Damn you, Marvel.
Okay, so the Ultimate Universe is 1610.
Okay.
So I was wrong for that one.
No.
In the epilogue, did we confirm whether or not it says it explicitly takes place in 1610?
That's what I'm
Because
wondering.
I don't think it is. I don't know if he just went back in time in 616 or if he's in a different universe.
Well, the Ultimate Universe is gone.
yeah.
So he can't go back.
So he
there.
can't go back there, right? Unless he created
6160
Okay, so he's in a different universe.
is the universe he went to.
So he's trying to recreate his a better world that he is going to be in charge of.
Yeah. I think he's interrupting all these different superheroes becoming the superheroes.
What number was that again?
6160. You know, is he going to make sure that Captain America doesn't get the super soldier serum? Is he going to make sure that Black Panther doesn't eat the heart-shaped herb so he doesn't get superpower? You know what I mean? Like,
Right, yeah.
Is he going to do all these things to make sure that the heroes of the world don't exist and he's the only one that has power?
Is he going to stop the Challenger launch?
Is he going to stop 9/11?
Head tilt.
You guys,
The ultimate thing.
Stare.
I bet does he stop? Will he stop the Titanic from sinking? Therein.
Shut up. Nope. Stop.
Oh boy. Stop the orcas from sinking
Here we go.
the yachts.
That's the highlight of this week. The orcas finally taking back the oceans. One boat at a time.
Nature is on the side of communism. Confirmed.
Okay, so it looks like Earth 6160 is a brand new reality.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, because we were. I don't remember seeing universes outside of 3 digits. Was the original Ultimate had a 0 after it?
No, I think it was 1610.
It was 1610.
Yeah, it was one. Oh, sorry. 1610.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think
I didn't realize that 0 was after it. I always just thought 616 161.
I think it had a 0.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'll say this. I know for sure that like the MCU universe in the Marvel Comics universe is like 1999, 99.
Mhm.
Like it has its
Okay.
own, and all those designations, like the real world, the world that we're currently in, has its own like number designation also.
Dude, that's funny.
So
That's how you get Justin Trudeau in comic books.
yeah, exactly.
Barack Obama.
They can just dip into our universe and pull him over.
Do we think that this book also has any connection to Gods, the series that Jonathan Hickman is writing? Because there was a part in there where the maker was talking about he had read his writings. And I don't know if he was, because he was referring to something of just like the creator of the universe.
Yeah.
Like he had somehow found like a tome or whatever that like kind of outlined the earth that he was in and all the earths around it. So I don't know if it's gonna be like a fourth wall thing of just like
He becomes a god of this universe and
Or,
then
yeah, exactly.
has an audience with the other gods because of what he's done in
Yes.
1610 or 6160.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
And that leads into gods.
he just created his own reality.
Yeah.
With all the tech he stole from 616.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that could be really interesting. Yeah, does he come to face with the Beyonder and Eternity and Living Tribunal and One Above All, or does he interact with?
I get a seat at the table now.
Yeah, or yeah, does he talk to
Stanley,
I was going to say
Jack Kirby.
Jim, one of those new guys from Gods.
Oh yeah, Tim the Science Boy.
Yeah, him.
All right.
It got me interested, which is exactly
I'm stoked
what
for
it
this
needed to
book.
do.
I
I'm
was
stoked
upset
for this
about the
book.
price. I think the price made me salty about the entire
Will the price be the
experience.
same for the rest of the series?
They
Holy-
should go down to normal sized issues
with ads.
with
Oh,
ads.
Hell yeah. Give me the
And
M&M
then,
ad.
and then they'll probably be $5 an issue, I would guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that they'll be $1 more expensive than normal Marvel books.
Here's one thing that happened in that book, and I would like to know if you think this happens often enough to be called a trope. The maker had a series of failed therapists coming to visit him while he was in jail, and he broke their brains because he's so smart that he turned them into like sheep for him.
That's what the Joker did.
Yeah, I feel like this is a thing that happens a lot with these like uber smart characters where their mental prowess is so strong that they can just like talk someone into a circle and turn them into a zombie.
That's what narcissists do all the time.
And when you're
It's
a
like-
superpowered narcissist.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
you're like super bendy.
Yeah.
It's just I have a hard time. Like, well, obviously they're all superpowers, and it's supposed to be goofy.
Uh-huh.
But just like when you don't have a like telepathic ability to alter someone's brain,
Yeah.
and your power is just like being able to talk to someone in such a I guess coercive matter
Mm-hmm.
that they can be like, I'll do literally anything for you, is like such a bizarre power.
It's a tried and true writing technique that authors use when they have a limited amount of pages and
That's
they got to
true,
stick
yeah.
to a story.
Yeah.
Because people can like identify with that kind of rhetoric. They're just like, oh, he's super smart and he tricked them. Okay, moving on.
One of the things I think we had this conversation before the podcast started that Andy
The M&M's with toes?
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yep. That Andy brought up was that a lot of the maker gathering the I guess MacGuffins
Yeah.
or the maker orchestrating the people coming to like break him out of prison and then turning them into a glob of people like seemed like it could have been stretched out in the like back matter of other issues
Oh, yeah.
as like a lead into this, and that would have been a really fun,
Yeah.
exciting way to like start this book, because you'd have teases as to like, oh, he stole this powerful thing and that powerful thing, and what is he doing and constructing that we're going to finally get revealed to us in this book. Would have been a little more fun
Yeah.
than just shoving it all into this comic and doing those tropes of like, how did he get people here so quick and break them out of jail?
Yeah, because it really was like just 4 panels of just like the maker showing up places and stealing.
I mean, it
Like
started
a Krakoan gate and all that.
in its defense. It started as like a fun heist, and it was like action
Yeah.
immediately, and then it was a fun reveal when they get to the maker.
But see, I want that. I want the Ocean's 11
yeah,
story of
Yeah.
the maker stealing stuff.
Yeah, I think it would have been very cool if, like, you know, in the back of an X-Men issue, they had a backup story where the maker
one of the
stole
gates
the
goes
gates.
missing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then you know, in different issues, and then they could have done even like a free comic book day issue where it's the maker talking to one of his therapists.
No, see, that
Yeah.
would have been awesome.
Yeah, I
Right?
think so.
Just random stories of him breaking his
Yeah,
therapists.
yeah, and then it launches into this book as like a prequel thing.
It's
Yeah.
even though it was double sized, it did so much.
Yeah.
with the like amount of pages it had, and I think there was just a lot going on in it. Again, including the $9 that I was like, man, this book.
Is it worth the 9?
So I don't think I was as stoked on it as I could have been.
I think it'll end up being a fun series, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love Hickman.
it felt like Secret Wars 2015, and that book slaps hard. So I'm pretty stoked for this.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll agree with Mike, though. $9 was too expensive for this book.
For the folks at home, how many issues is this series? Question mark.
150,000,
God damn
I
it.
think, was what they said.
I know that there's
Here we go again.
it's up to like 4 in previews or something. So
Yeah.
at least 4.
At least 4.
Probably a 6er, I would guess.
Cool. I read the Archie. Oh, we done with Ultimate
Yeah.
Invasion?
Yeah.
Okay. I read the Archie
Camp thing.
Camp Pickens
Yeah.
anthology.
Hell yeah.
It had a myriad of authors and illustrators on it. It was basically just like a Crypt Keeper style story of the Archie kids are at summer camp, and they're like camp counselors, and each story goes through different scenarios of like Veronica narrowly avoiding like a Michael Myers character or a Jason character through camp, and then like bugs and like giant bugs invading the camp and stuff with Jughead and his troop of dipshits.
Let me ask you this: was it funny?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was.
It was
Okay.
funny.
It wasn't like,
well,
this
it was
is
like
fucked up.
No, it was like, but it was like
sometimes
the
with the
Crypt
Archie
Keeper.
horror stuff, it is like
Yeah.
it is like this one's actually supposed to be dark.
No,
and not on the nose.
It was campy, just like the old Crypt Keeper TV show. Just
Okay.
like weird, unsettling stuff is happening. There's like definitely a humor angle to it.
How are the stories told? Are they like around a campfire? Or is there like a Crypt Keeper style like narrator?
Well, no. So it starts with like Jughead
Uh-huh.
being like, "Oh shit, we're out of bug juice," which is actually juice made from bugs that keeps the spirits away. And so like that's how the story starts, and then just like shifts into a story about Betty,
Uh-huh.
and then shifts back to Jughead, then shifts to a story about Veronica, and like back and forth like that.
So there is no...
No, there's no
Archie
like, "Are you
universe
afraid of the
Crypt
dark?"
Keeper.
thing. Just
Yeah,
like,
or like, everyone's going
Yeah.
around a campfire telling
"Have you
stories.
heard the story of Veronica?" And it's like, no. So it was fun. It was not $9.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I thought about, I was like, we could almost do an episode that's like horror anthologies, because the new Jeff Lemire thing
I read that one as well.
came out. What is it? Bone Orchard
Bone
Mythos?
Orchard Mythos.
I might have not pre-ordered it because it sounded like a thing that was like, here's another part of an existing thing you don't know about.
It
Because
is.
it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Is Bone Orchard already?
Well, no, they're building this. Andy, you may know as well. They're building this like connected horror universe.
So that's what I heard. But was this book the first issue of the Connected Horror
no,
Universe?
so like 1,000
10,000 Black Feathers.
10,000 Black Feathers.
Okay.
And there was one before that, too.
Yes. I have it pulled up here, but
Yeah.
it's like a connected horror universe.
I think this is like the third book.
Got it.
And this might be like the team up book, or you know what I mean? Like
Where,
the
like, characters are
Connect-y book.
meeting, yeah.
Because Bone Orchard was like, that's the brand, if you will,
Okay.
of this universe.
Yeah, this was very, as someone who considers themselves like a pretty big Jeff Lemire fan,
Yeah.
I was surprisingly confused by like what was happening, what
Yeah.
books were involved.
So it started out with it spun. Okay, so it's not connected to Gideon Falls, but when Jeff Lemire was making this with Andrea Sorrentino,
Yeah.
they were just like, "Man, it's so easy for us to knock back and forth horror ideas. Like, let's see if we can create this giant shared horror universe." And so I think like Passageways was maybe like the first book in the series. No, I'm sorry. Shadow Eater was, which was from the Free Comic Book Day from 2022, and then Passageway, 10,000 Black Feathers was next, followed by Tenement, which was the one we're talking about right now, and then in 2024,
Okay.
a book called Starseed,
Yeah.
will be coming out.
So I love Gideon Falls,
Mm-hmm.
and there are Jeff Lemire books that I think Jeff Lemire writes a couple different types of comics, I'll say.
Yeah, it's either super spooky or super sad.
Yeah, and I think I have a hard time with some of the sad stuff. But I think it's all great.
Yeah,
He's a fabulous writer, and he's so good at doing that stuff.
he's an ugly crier.
But yeah, I'm one of those people who's just like, I've dealt with this during my day, and I've dealt with that, and the last thing I want to do is just like
Read a heavy.
hunker down and like read something so heavy and sad that's just gonna make me like feel depressed.
Well, if he's drawing it, avoid it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Who's ready for some ennui, baby?
yeah.
Yeah,
Like Underwater Welder, not so much.
Yeah.
well, and I thought, I don't know if that book was it called Maze or something to do with
Maze book.
A Maze book.
Yeah.
Like that was a beautiful book,
God.
Yeah.
but at the same time, I was just like, I feel hollow after like
Yeah.
reading
Uh-huh.
it.
Trillium. Same thing.
Trillium. Oh shit. Trillium was so good though.
Yeah, they're all good. But I would be excited for this, but I also kind of feel like, oh, I missed the boat because I didn't pick up on what was happening,
Mhm.
and now I'm like 4 or 5 Jeff Lemire horror minis behind.
It kind of to me has the same feel as like Mike Mignola's BPRD.
You just kind of pick up.
Of just like just hop in.
Yeah.
Like it's accessible, like just catch the vibe when you're in here. It's just spooky all around. And like I think it's just enriching and not, alienating. If you read all the books, it's just like a bonus, but like if you just read one or one or the other, you're going to be just fine either way.
So it kind of sounds like Silver Coin.
I hope that comic comes back.
Silver Coin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was it? Mike Walsh is the
Mhm.
artist?
Yeah.
Matt Walsh.
Matt Walsh?
Yeah.
I think he took a hiatus just because he was like doing a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
Well, he was the guy behind that book.
Yeah.
He was the artist.
Yeah,
Yes.
but
he was the continuity link. He would write he wrote a couple
Yeah.
and then did the art for every single issue.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he brought on writers.
I think that's such
Yeah.
a fun way to do those anthology style things is just have
Yeah.
like a Kelly Thompson, Al Ewing, whoever hops in for it.
Yeah.
They were really fun. I really want to see that book come back. Sorry,
Yeah.
I interrupted you.
No, that it seems the Bone Orchard Mythos stuff seems like that.
Yeah.
But instead of single issues, it's just miniseries.
Yeah.
So you can hop in and read Tenement without necessarily knowing what 10,000 Black Feathers is.
Yep.
But if you do read them, you'll probably get like,
There's maybe
oh,
a little
hey,
payoff.
a bonus
that
stuff.
cop showed up in this other story,
Yeah.
that kind
Uh-huh.
of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it was cool. Like we talked about, Jeff Lemire is certainly a vibe, and
Yeah,
if you know which vibe you're going into, you should be able to navigate the book.
for sure. What'd you read, Mike? Other than Ultimate Invasion?
Nothing.
Oh,
I've been playing Zelda, trying to get different outfits.
hell yeah, dog.
You know what's so funny to me about that is like everyone online seems like so driven by the clothes.
Yes.
And it's just like all these people who are just like, how can I dress my little guy up?
Yeah.
I love that.
It's either that or making a fucking Gundam
True.
out of all the stuff you can
True.
sync up.
yeah, it makes me I feel like they did such a good job with the design for the game and making solving the puzzles not so singular. But at the same time they did it so well that it's like, no, you can't take this away.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like the next Zelda game has to let you build or manipulate whatever the items are,
Mhm.
or people are going to be like, this sucks in comparison
Too hard.
to the last thing. It was almost like too great of a leap
Yep.
Mhm.
that now they're in a corner here.
That's
Yeah.
what I've heard.
I'm really interested to be like,
This is the last Zelda game.
yeah, I mean, like maybe. I'd also be like,
Link got hit in the head and doesn't know how to do any of this shit anymore.
I was so impressed by the fact that like the map is more or less the same. Obviously, they've added stuff like above in the sky and below in like caves and things, which has been really fun and like new shit to explore. But I was really surprised how much it was just like, it's fun to revisit these places and it doesn't really matter
Yeah.
that the map is for the large part the same. It was kind of a good experience with it being the same and kind of familiar. But I was like, the next one the exact same mechanics, but this time you've changed the map
Hell yeah.
and there's more like sea in the next one instead of so much land.
Dude,
Like,
Wind Waker, but with
well, yeah, it's like the next one you just like add an ocean onto the side. And,
Yeah. So you just added like Sea of Thieves with Zelda,
right.
and that's like $1 million
Or,
idea.
or they could go back to doing the like this one is like sky, earth, below earth.
Heart, wind, fire.
Is the next one? Yeah, does the next one have a different theme to it that instead of like the levels of earth, it's like a through time thing again? They go back to like an Ocarina of Time thing.
Ooh, nice.
Or Link to the Past, and he's going like he starts in present day and then he goes back to the past and then he goes into the future and you see the map change over time. So I don't know. I'm interested to see what they do with the damn thing.
I have not had a chance to play it yet, and I'm super jealous of everybody because I just bought a house.
Yep.
So, not a lot of extra cash floating around right now
I am more backed up on comics than I've ever been
because of Zelda.
because of Zelda.
Sure.
So much of my spare time traditionally goes to like crushing comic books.
Yeah.
And now it's just crushing Zelda, and I've logged well over 100 hours in this game already.
Hell yeah, brother.
And I have an entire box of comics from this past month that I haven't touched. And my box of the following month's comics arrives tomorrow.
Ooh.
So I have about 120 comics I haven't read.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
But at least they're bagged and boarded, and I can pre-organize them and have them like ready to go. All right.
Well, I am very excited to get you guys into my back issues at some point.
Whoa, hey, I'm a married man.
We'll have to have some comic book flipping time.
Yeah, do you
Once we
have
get in the new
do you have
house.
everything like very like super organized, or do you need an assist?
So I've got stuff about half alphabetized.
Yeah.
Because I had my entire collection alphabetized, and then I kind of ran out of room, so I had to start stacking stuff.
Yeah.
And that's when it's like,
Well, you need to pick your movie franchise. Because I have Fast and Furious
oh yeah,
for when you guys come over.
well we should do Bond, right?
Yes.
Oh, Bond would be great.
That's a good one to do.
Yeah, and Mike Russo and I did Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Yes. Which is nuts.
The new one was I enjoyed. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, it was better than a lot of the the other Hellraiser.
Yeah,
movies.
yeah. I also like. I kind of liked that they gave that. Like every movie has given them some sort of origin that's like, oh, that's different than the last movie though, or
Yeah.
like these don't really track anymore. And this one gave them an origin that was like completely like out of this world, different than any other one they've done so far. And it was my favorite out of like them trying to explain what the Hellraisers are.
Yeah. I agree. I didn't like the one where Pinhead was like a Nazi officer or whatever.
Oof.
Yeah.
That was the one where he like became separated from like his demon form.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah.
What was that, like the fourth or fifth one?
Like he came onto Earth and had to get a real job.
Dude, they're all trash. Those movies are trash.
Yeah, it's like the first one's like really interesting because you can just tell like someone's trying to do something new, different, and weird.
Yeah.
And it has a charm to it, like special effects wise. You don't think so?
I hate the Hellraiser movies.
I think the first one's like a really fun watch, and then 2 through like 6 are god awful, irredeemable movies.
Correct.
But you kind of get a kick out of watching them because they're so bad.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I've seen all of them.
Yeah, there are. I think it's maybe 3 is like unwatchable. There's one that's like where there's like an obelisk or something that's like eating people. It's just such a departure from what made Hellraiser great.
The one where the guy
like
had CDs in his head. That was the one that I couldn't. They had a whole demon where his bit was that he had CDs in his head and he shot them at people.
Yeah,
Oh,
really
wow.
stupid.
Hold on, let me put this on shuffle.
Well, Macarena.
Shooting AOL internet discs at people.
Free trial.
Adam Scott is in like the second or third one. He's like really young.
That doesn't surprise me.
It's like his role is so bad, and I'm like, man, he must be like so bummed that he was in this.
I'm sure he still cashes the checks.
Well, believe me, there are not many residuals coming from that movie.
Don't be so sure.
Do we have time to talk about one more comic?
Sure.
Yeah, it's 300. I say we go over an hour a little to celebrate.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Let's indulge.
Summer.
So the other book that I read was Philip Kennedy Johnson's Hulk #1.
Okay. Let me say something before we get into the content of the book.
Wow,
Okay.
already.
This is the worst cover of the year thus far. We're almost to that.
The Patrick Gleason variant?
Yeah, I think that cover is absolute trash.
Wow.
Okay.
Hot take.
For
I like it.
Hottest take for 300.
What's that weird Frank Miller cover?
The Wolverine
the
cover.
the Wolverine one. That's a better cover than this.
Why don't you like it?
I just think it looks like
Well, it looks like a sketch.
It looks like a junior high art student did this, and I hate the like weird layered on like clip art looking gamma thing in his eye. The facial expression looks like it falls
Sylvester Stallone.
It falls in this weird uncanny valley sort of area where like part of it looks like it's supposed to be dialed into like this looks a little real, and some of it is just like squished face proportions and very sketchy. It looks like an unfinished doodle to me.
Hot take. Take that, Pat.
Yeah.
I'm normally a very like positive person.
Yeah.
I've come out
Not
a little,
anymore.
I've come out a little salty on this episode, but
The next 300 are going to be evil.
yeah, episode 600. I'll be nice again, and then episode 600, I'll tell you how I really feel about a couple things.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
So Mike D's getting the A cover, I guess.
Yeah. So cover aside, Andy, how was this?
I loved it.
Okay.
So this kind of goes back to the Hulk or Bruce Banner, I should say, as a hitchhiker, down a long and lonesome road. And the Hulk is desperately trying to get out so that he can, put Banner in his place, that kind of thing.
So is this a continuation from the Donny Cates, Ryan Otley
It
run?
kind of sounds like it.
I mean, kind of. It's more of a continuation of the annual that
Okay.
David Pepos did.
Yes.
Where there is also in pursuit of Banner and Hulk are these monster people, the head of which is called the Eldest, and they're like monsters in disguise or monsters that are like inside of people.
Is that a joke?
Monsters in disguise.
Let there be monsters in disguise.
But they're like pursuing the Hulk for some reason to try and turn them
Court him.
Who knows why?
Hulk.
Yeah.
Looking good, my man.
Milady. Monsieur.
But that's the book. I presume that Hulk will be fighting these monsters at some point, which again is an awesome setup for a book.
Yes.
Hulk fighting monsters.
Hulk fight monsters.
There are some books that I've been buying for around a decade that I'm like, when's a good time to stop buying them?
And you still get Spider-Man. Interesting.
I still get Spider-Man. Spider-Man I'll never stop buying. It could be garbage and I'll keep buying it. Hulk is one that like I loved Immortal Hulk so much that I almost feel like
Obligated.
Well, I felt obligated for the Cates run to like continue it. And now I kind of feel like
Don't feel bad because Donny Cates didn't even feel obligated to finish that run.
True.
I kind of feel like maybe this is one of those cost-saving things for me where I've been buying this for so long and maybe I dip out, maybe I buy
Trades or whatever.
an on sale Omni or read it on Unlimited if I want to catch up on it.
Not a bad idea.
Did you read the annual?
No, I have it. I haven't been able to read it yet.
You might change your mind. Because I thought the annual was great.
Yeah, the concept sounds cool.
Yeah. And I'm excited to see, because this gave me vibes of like, you guys remember in the Deadpool stuff from forever ago where he was like in Monster City and he was married to like the Dracula's like betrothed or whatever, and there were just like monsters showing up all the time. Anybody remember that?
No.
Okay, well, it gave me those kinds of vibes where Hulk's gonna be like interacting more with.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, because like Man-Thing makes a cameo at the end, and
Oh shit. Okay.
there's all kinds of. I think there's gonna be more Marvel monsters than just like Hulk punching faceless, creatures.
I'm into that.
I think a lot of these other more heavy hitters are going to show up. Monster heavy hitters, I think it'd be cool to have Hulk fight some of those like Jack Kirby kind of guys.
Fing Fang Foom or whatever.
Yeah, all those dudes,
They came from Planet X.
I'm hoping that stuff shows up. So
Awesome.
Incredible Hulk. If you're a Philip Kennedy Johnson fan,
That's the most alluring thing to me.
Yeah,
is
he's a
the
great
Philip Kennedy
writer.
Johnson.
That makes this one
Yep.
hard to pass on.
and it has the same kind of vibes as his like Alien books, which is
Nice.
right
Yeah,
where
those
I'm
are good.
where I'm at for me. So
Ooey baby. Hit me one more time.
Hit you for the 300th time.
It's been an honor to serve you for 300 episodes for over 5 years on First Issue Club.
or 5 months in some cases.
Our new hanger-on over here, taking all the glory.
Our newest edition.
But yeah, thanks for sticking with us, and we'll have all the links to socials and Patreon in the outro jingle. Bye-bye. First Issue Club is edited and produced by Mike DeStacy, Greg Lichtag, and Andy Vargas. Follow us on social media at First Issue Club, and check out our Patreon for videos, audio, and more at patreon.com/firstissueclub.